Hey guys, Deathbyphiw here. Today we're going to do a video talking about the Clash game mode, the newest game mode that potentially may come into competitive at some point in time. I'm going to explain to you what it is and also the fundamental flaws with it. And I'm going to show a preview, like a review from my stream last night playing it. Granted, I understand it's a test game mode. It's in arcade. The Blizzard devs gave us an opportunity to try it out. I was just a little bit frustrated on stream, so I was recording that live. So preface that with this video here before you go and watch it. But take a look at the video coming up. You're gonna see what happened in our game. I'm gonna explain to you what is going on in the Clash mode and pretty much why the mode is really bad right now. And yeah, so here it is. We rolled them to the last point, right? So here's the thing. This is what I think, right? You start off 0-0. Your product's 99.1% pure. Yeah, so staggering holding space for the team is really dumb because everybody hated 2CP for this reason. The fact that you couldn't cap the last point and just keep staggering. But in this case, there's no overtime, nothing. It's just you cap the point, right? It's like a tug of war, king of the hill, right? So you start off at C. So my opinion is, if you win point C, you get a point, right? Now you're on attack. Everybody's equal in point C at the beginning. Now you're on attack. If you win point D, you get a point, right? Like we did here. Now, if you lose point E, right? And the defensive team, because it's highly defensive, you can't even win the last point. I have not won it yet in 6 games. You should not get a point. You're pushed against the wall, right? What they did was this. They lost point C and point D. Then they won point E. They went back to point D. We won point D. It's now 3-1. It goes back to point E. Now they won point E. Now it's 3-2. How in what world is that fair that you're pushing them into their spawn, into the last point, and it's just a 3-2 thing and you're rolling them? Like, why should they get a point? It should still be 3-0. They have to force us out into point C to do anything. You want to get a point for point D because you forced them out of point E and then you went to point D and now you went back to equilibrium. Sure, give them a point, but you should not get a point in the last point if you push back into your spawn, because all they did was we'll just recap it. This is all they did. Here, free cam it. They kept staggering here. We even got a pick. Look, it's a 5v4 to start the fight. We got a pick. And watch, we can't even cap it. Can't even cap it. 2 picks, 5v3. 5v3 right now. Look at this. But their spawn is right here. So it's a 5v3 and we killed 2 more people. It should be a 5v1. And we still can't cap the point. 5v1 still can't cap the point. Then they stagger, they get killed, and then what do? The game's over if we win this point here. Now we killed 4 of them. 4 of them. It's now a 5v3 and our spawn is in Carajo land, somewhere down over here that we can't even contest to come back to fight. We got to run from Carajo land to get into the fight. And their spawn's literally right out the door. And they respawn in like less than 10 seconds and they're here. Right? So you can never win this last point. Never win it. I've never lost it either. Right? And then they get a point for this. Right? And now for some reason it's 2-1. Now it's 2-1. Now we move to point D. And guess what? Oh, we're probably going to win this game, right? We're going to cap this point too. So we capped this point. Now we're winning 3-1, right? 3-1. So let's move up and fight this. We got a pick early, I think, here. Or close to getting a pick on her. right? So we're just waiting. And look, again, it's 4v4, right? It's 4v4 right now. But you can't win the fight. It's 4v3. 3v3. But they respawned already. The Kiri respawned and tellied all the way out here to him. So now you can't even contest this point, right? And what do? Keep in mind, this Maga has killed 3 people, guys. This Maga's killed 3 people. And you can't cap the last point. And they're gonna get a point for capping this. So now it's 3-2, even though they're backed up into their spawn and we've been rolling them the whole game, right? Now they're gonna come back again. And I think they lose this point. Yeah, they lose this point, right? They lose this point. We're rolling them this whole game. Rolling them. It's 4-2, but they keep getting a point on the last point. So now it goes back to the last point where their spawn's right fucking here. Ana could like snooze and walk there, and we're gonna lose this point. One fight, we lose it. Now it's 4-3. So now, okay, we gotta somehow win this point to win the game. But it's also defensively minded. Keep in mind, look at this, how it favors the defensive side. They have high ground automatically. On the attacking side, there's no high ground, right? There's no high ground. You have to go all the way around to do anything. So they already have the advantage on point D. It favors the defensive team as you push in. Dylan Dubs, thank you for the 1 times heart me, bro. So if they took away the point for point A or E, it would probably be more balanced. Yes, right now it would be 4-0 if they didn't give you a point for the last point. It would be 4-0 and it would be appropriate. They've been rolled the whole game. They've been rolled. We won 2 team fights on point E and couldn't cap it. Then we got rolled in the 3rd team fight on point E. Got completely rolled. Fine, that's fine. But we won 2 of the 3 team fights on the last point, and they just kept running out of spawn, staggering, and you couldn't do shit. And they have high ground now, right? Now they're gonna win this point and make it 4-4, and we're gonna lose this point. Because once again, our spawn is in Carajo land, and they all came from the last team fight, which is right here, and have high ground advantage. Bro, I can't. We're gonna lose this. We're gonna lose this fight. Yes! It's exactly that, Ali. It's almost like when you get to point E, sacrifice 2 points. Like, it doesn't matter that you lose point C and D. You just roll them on point E every time, and you come back to point D. Right? And then if you lose that, you go back to point E, and it's 4-3 at the end of the day. BP 190, 110, heart rate. Oh, bro, the nurse dialing. Bro, we're brothers, bro. I have red hair that runs in my family. I got red hair in my beard. We got the J3 freaking receding hairline. So now they win. Keep in mind, they've only won 2 team fights this entire game. 2 team fights this entire game. That's it. They won 2 team fights. And it's now tied 4-4. Yes, I did get my end of season points. And they just won that point, right? And we're pushed up trying to contest it. Now we're gonna get staggered and die coming out of spawn and be far away. I'm gonna spawn in, like, once again, Carajo land somewhere over here. My team's gonna have 4 people versus 5 in bad positioning. And then they're just gonna lose this fight. And then we're gonna lose 5-4. Like, okay, we're kind of screwed. Like, okay, Maga's messed up. He's screwed. I'm coming from here, guys. Look where I'm coming from. From here. My team's already lost the fight. They didn't even have a chance to contest. Game's over. The game's over. Just like that. we've won 7 team fights, and now we've effectively they've won 3 team fights, we've won 7, and we lose the game.
So I'm going to end this video with, yes, this is an experimental game mode in the arcade. It's in open queue. It's not set up in row queue, but the idea is we're supposed to play test it. And like I said, I was frustrated on stream playing this because I played it for like the last hour and a half, 2 hours. And I rarely ever won point E. Yes, eventually I did win point E or lose point E on defense. And I did say it in my video that I like never lost it or never won it. It eventually happened, but it's honestly super rare. It probably happened in like 2 of my 20 games. So maybe like 10% of the time it does happen, which is very rare. And it's very defensively minded. Like the Blizzard devs said, point E and point D are supposed to be defensively minded. So this is our time to shine as play testers in this case, to let them know that you should not get a point for point E. In my personal opinion, you get a point for every point that you win. It doesn't make sense to be in your spawn. And there was plenty of games that I played after this, not in the video, where like we didn't even have a chance to get to point E to even do a fight, where the enemy team just simply capped it because we barely won a team fight on point D, and we had like 1 person, and then they won that point, and then our spawn was so far away because the point was won before we respawned that we weren't even able to collectively group up as a team and contest point E to actually attack it. So they just freely won point E, and it was like just like a free point. So this is my rant. It's a rant video. I apologize if I upset anyone or made them upset with like me being so frustrated and yapping away on stream, but it was recorded live and these are my feelings, and it was a live reaction of like being frustrated over playing the new game mode. So I do understand the Blizzard devs will likely change things and make edits and make changes. So take that as it is. And hope you enjoyed the video. And if you haven't already, please like it, share it with a friend, leave your comments in the comment section below. What are your thoughts on this new game mode? It seems a little fun, but then it got boring kind of quickly with me and kind of frustrating because of the way it's set up. And also, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It really does help me grow. It helps out my channel a lot and keeps me motivated to continue doing gaming videos like this. And as always, happy gaming.